Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee hit out at the controversial one nation, one election idea of the ruling party, labelling it a design to subvert the basic structure of the constitution and to create a system to allow autocracy in a democratic garb to enter the national public arena. Now, in a letter, in fact, she has said that I am against the autocracy and hence against your design. In a detailed letter to Dr. Nitin Chandra, the secretary of the high-level committee led by former President Ramnath Kovind that has called for suggestions for implementation of one nation, one election idea, the Trinamool leader said she had basic conceptual difficulties with the principle and also difficulties with your methodological approach. Let me go across to my colleague Saurabh Gupta, who is joining us with more details on this. It must have not come as a surprise, this letter, Saurabh, but the fact remains a strongly worded letter. Mamata Banerjee pulling no punches as far as the whole idea of one nation, one election is concerned.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, she also spoke on this issue at a press conference held earlier today in the afternoon, and she did reiterate what she has mentioned in that letter. And it's quite significant what she's mentioned in the letter because it touches upon what she's been saying earlier as well, that there seems to be an attempt to change the federal structure of the country. And this she said in several contexts, including, several other issues like withholding funds, etc. But this time around, she came across very strongly on this issue, the proposal of one nation, one election. And there, of course, she's made several points, including she says, if the framers of the Indian constitution did not mention the concept of one nation, one government, how have you arrived at the concept of one nation, one election? Unless this basic enigma is sorted, it is difficult to arrive at any final view on this catchy phrase. So she simply describes it as a catchy phrase. She goes on to say, there are several issues. For example, she says instability. She mentions instability of governments, etc. She also says, I have difficulties with your methodological approach. Then she goes on to say that from the tenor of your correspondence and the manner in which you accept half-baked assumptions as given facts, we doubt if the high-level committee is seriously interested in analyzing the demerits of the case. She goes on to mention several issues, and she says in some the fundamental issue is not to discuss the advantages of simultaneous elections to parliament and state legislatures, as you have put in your letter in the reference. The issue is about why and how to arrange simultaneous elections to the parliament and state legislatures in the current circumstances in the prism of the basic structure of the constitution. So basically she's saying that this, of course, is something that's aimed at altering the basic structure of the constitution, and she says mentions, of course, autocracy and all of that, which is a very strong comment, but along expected lines like you mentioned.